Hey guys, this is Matt. Today I want to talk to you about something that some landlords don't do any of, some landlords do a lot of, and it's called preventative maintenance. It's very easy to just do what I call reactive maintenance, which is just coming out when your roof starts leaking, or your tenant calls you and says they've got lots of problems in the property and they're going to move out unless you fix them or something like that. So what I want to talk to you about is called preventative maintenance, and it's staying ahead of the game, and it's doing a walk through the property on a regular basis to look for things. So what we do a walkthrough every 8 months. We insist that the tenant's home during the walkthrough, and why on that one, number one, is because I can ask the tenant. They're in the property every day, you would think. They can tell me, yes, that sink leaks, and we do have a roof leak over here, or they can point out potential problems for you if you ask the right questions. So that's number one. We always make sure the tenant's home on this. We do them every 8 months. It sounds like a weird number, but the reason we do them every 8 months is it pushes us into different seasons. If I do it every 6 months, then I'm probably going to do it every June and every December, right? But if I do it every 8 months, I'm going to do it in June, then I'm going to do it in February, then I'm going to do it in December, then I'm going to do it in August, and it puts me in different times of the year. By doing it every 8 months. And why do I want to do that? I want to see how the property performs and what's going on in the property in the wintertime. Currently you can see, unfortunately, I got snow on the ground around me, so I can look to see how the property holds itself up when there's snow. In the summertime, I want to see if the property has air conditioning, how that's working when I'm on site. So I do them every 8 months because it allows me to be at the property during different times of the year, right? Here's what I look at when I walk through. Number one, I look for potential safety issues. We just did a walkthrough on this property, which we've owned for several years now. We found that a few of the smoke detectors, unfortunately, the batteries are dead. Now, that is the tenant's responsibility, but it's on our conscience if there is a fire and the smoke detectors don't go off. So I do point that out, and it's just a couple of dollars for a battery, so we'll point that out to the tenant and ask them to replace the battery, or we'll come out during another maintenance visit and replace the batteries for them. Safety concerns like that. Any other safety concerns that may come up, potential fire hazards, whatever, we look for those kinds of things. So number one thing that we look for in a PM walkthrough is safety. Number two, unfortunately, it happens, but I want to look for illegal activity in properties. Of course, they didn't see anything like that in this property, and I don't see it in most of our properties, but it is something that I do want to pay attention to because I want to make sure my tenants are behaving themselves. So I look for illegal activity or just things that I wouldn't want my tenants to be doing in the property. So overall, or even additional occupants. That's technically illegal as well. So I'll count how many beds are in the property and that. So we had a property recently that we did a preventative maintenance walkthrough on, and we saw they had somebody sleeping in the basement. That's not legal, so we called them out on that, right? So then the third thing we look for is things that could become a potential problem in the future. In this property, we saw there were some cracks in the ceiling. Not a big deal, but we're going to patch them and paint them because it could become a larger crack. It could become some sheetrock falling down, or actually this property's plaster, some of the plaster could start coming out. So we're going to patch and paint that just to make sure it's nice and sealed up. We saw her shower curtain had one side that was a little loose. We're going to tighten that up. You know why? I don't want it to fall down in a year if I don't do anything about it, right? So you look for potential problems. This is a single-family home, so the tenant pays all utilities. But in a property where we pay some utilities, I'm going to look for things that are going to cost me money. That's number 4 on things that you want to look for in a potential property. Things that cost you money. So leaky sinks, leaky faucets, leaky toilets. Toilet leaks will cost you a ton of money. It'll cost you a lot more than a new toilet's going to cost you. So look for things like that in a preventative maintenance walkthrough. So those are things you want to look for. Again, it'll cost you a little bit of money and maybe some maintenance to stay ahead of these things, but I promise you, addressing these things now will save you money if you're reducing your utility expenses, or will save you on a major emergency expense, which is going to happen at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, because that's when major emergencies happen, right? It'll prevent that from happening, and you can address it on your own time if you do a PM walkthrough. So that's why I highly recommend them to all you guys. I hope this is beneficial. Hope you have a great week, and if you like, leave a comment about some other things you do for preventative maintenance yourself. Have a great week, guys. Thank you.